All right, Staley. So when did you find out that how close you were to a triple double, and what was that like?
Honestly, I didn't even really know until about the 6-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Honestly, but because I was just out there playing, we talk about a lot just playing together and doing, doing what Cowgirl basketball is, and so I was just out there playing and trying to do what's best for my team and win.
In the second quarter, did you feel a different level of energy coming from the bench and on the court as well from the team?
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of that energy came from our crowd. They showed up for us and showed out, and all praise to them because, we couldn't get that win without them. We talk a lot about sisterhood and staying together, but there's only so much of that we can do, and our crowd brings a lot of that. And I thank them so much for coming out and showing up for us. But, that was a really big win against a really good Iowa State team.
To that point of trying to get the win, where, you play in such a way that maybe, is just kind of not wanting to get the triple-double. Did you actually try to get it, or, were the coaches kind of, pushing you to try to get it and stuff? Or?
No, not really. Honestly, I didn't come out in this game and be like, I'm going to get a triple-double today. I was just, just like I said, just going out there, being the teammate and leader I am for my team, and just doing what's best for the team to win. And honestly, I'll do anything for this team to win. So they didn't really tell me that I needed like 1 assist and 1 point at one point, and then it just was after that. It was just, let's just get this win. It's fun out there. It's fun to be on the court with these girls and to do what we do and play how we play. So, I just take advantage of that and just have fun out there.
Stailee, are you having more fun not just today but the last 2 weeks or so?
I love conference play. Every team from top to bottom is really good, and so I'm so competitive. I just love hard. I love hard games. I love, those in non-con when we're blowing teams out by, I just don't find that fun, and it's hard to stay focused for me. So when we're in close games and good teams and playing the Audie Crooks and the Jada Williams and stuff like that, I find it really fun.
What is your relationship with Audie? So you give her a big hug after the game and stuff.
We've been playing against each other for a while. Me and her, and then Addie Brown as well. I've known them for a while. And then when I went over for the USA trials, they were there, and it was really just us three and just hanging out. Just because we know each other, we've been playing against each other for so long. We're in the same class, so we've been, it's always on the court we're against each other, but off the court, we have a lot of love for each other. They're really good players, and so I respect them a lot.
How do you feel about how well you guys limited her scoring ability today?
Honestly, that was the top of the scout. She's good at what she does, and so just stopping her and making other people score. We knew if we held her under her average, we'd get this win. And so, just sticking to the scout and sticking to the game plan. That's always the key.
When you look at the box score for how y'all defended her, do you feel like did y'all execute the game plan against
Oh,
her?
yeah, absolutely. Our bigs, A2 and Poise, they did a phenomenal job of keeping her, under her average. And I feel like that they need to take that and run with it and know that they guarded one of the best players in the country. So I feel like they've came a long ways and stayed disciplined and didn't foul, and just they played really good.
I asked Coach Finley and Coach Hoyt this question, but can you talk about the resiliency of this basketball team? You guys have won 4 or 5 since Baylor. It just seems like you guys were able to turn the page after that game, learn something from it, and move on.
Yeah, we've learned a lot in our season so far, even in non-con. When we went to the Cayman Islands, we learned a lot. We played a really good Miami team and got 2 big wins over there. And then, we dropped the ball on Baylor. And then, our process has been not easy, but I feel like we went through it at the perfect time where we needed to, right before we came into conference play. And so, I think that's just showing how much we want it for each other, how much we want it for this program. And so I feel like, this was a really, really good win for us to know that we can be in the same conversations as Iowa State and all those top teams. So, it's just a statement game.
Staley, can you talk a little bit about halftime? Jacie said she roped y'all a little bit. She felt like at least some people on the team were maybe a little too happy with how well things went. Maybe she wanted y'all to calm down.
She was just saying like we can't be casual and we can't let up because honestly I feel like our third quarters are probably our worst quarters because we come out of halftime slow and like teams usually go on runs in the first 5 minutes of the third, and so just she was just telling us like we have to come out hard, we have to come out, keep punching, and like we can't look at what the scoreboard is. After halftime it's 0-0, so we have to stay on the grind and stay on the pedal.
Is it easier to do that when you have a coach like Jacie who clearly never lets up?
It is. It definitely is, and especially with the type of girls we have too. She believes in us so much, and we just got to go out there and be us, honestly. And we saw today that we're able to do that, and we're able to put teams away like that. So I mean, it's just like I said, it's just a statement game.
Did Mom or Dad ever have a triple-double, and then what did they tell you after the game?
I cannot tell you if they had one or not, but it's just a good job. That's just as fair as it can be.
Anything else?
Coach Finley was in here, and the way he talked, it sounded like maybe he was having a little bit of fun back and forth with you during the game. Was that the case, and what is that like from a coach like that?
Yeah, Coach Finley, I respect him a lot. He's one of the most respected coaches I have in the Big 12. I respect every coach, but like he's just well-rounded team and well-rounded coaching staff. I feel like he's just, I don't even know how we have a relationship, but it's just like we always somehow I always end up in front of the bench. He's always just talking and we're just always like chatting it up. But he's a real cool guy, a real nice guy.
How much were you pulling for that corner three to go in for Tyler?
Oh, I just want the best for her, She's been doing phenomenal in practice lately, and she's just been stepping up and playing her role, and her time is coming. And so, just building that confidence in her and being the older sister for her, because, sometimes that's hard, but, she's coming along.
One more.
You said it was a statement. Jacie said that word too. What is the statement that y'all made today?
Like I said, it's just we deserve to be in the same conversations as the Iowa States and the bigger schools. I feel like, we started off slow, but you don't want to be playing your best basketball right now, and I feel like we're on the road to that. And, we're going to have our ups and downs, but I feel like this was a really good stamp in the books for us.
Yeah, well, I think this was our most complete game of the season in terms of just putting a full 40 minutes together and having everyone kind of firing on all cylinders. And honestly, I've been waiting for that. I think we've had really good moments. We've had some great wins, but today was just dominant from start to finish. And I think that is a testament to when everyone on this team is playing, not even at their best, but just playing well. I think we're a really good ball team. Iowa State is also a really, really good team. And I would be remiss to not acknowledge that, they've got a couple injuries that are very impactful for them. And I know what that's like to go through that. That's a really hard position to be in. I remember 2 years ago being in that spot, and it's no fun. But ultimately, I'm really proud of the effort. I'm proud of just the team connectivity on both ends of the floor today. And our fans were awesome. Once again, we just were able to ride their energy from start to finish, and was really grateful for them for just showing up the way that they did and being as loud and engaging as they were, or engaged, especially when we had a nationally televised game. So I'm really just super proud of everything today. Stailee Hurd was a special player, as we all know that she is, but when she's doing that, everyone else follows. And I think she was the one who really got things going, not by her scoring, but from her rebounding. And that's just who she has to be for us. But it was really special to watch her today.
Coach, your team recorded 10 steals today. What can you say about the performance today on defense, especially with how you guys limited Audie Crooks' scoring ability?
Yeah, she's she's a heck of a player. I don't know if there's a player in the country that more people spend. I don't know if there's a player in the country that more people spend time preparing for. She's just. You play behind, you play in front. I mean, you double team. Like, there's just so many different ways that you can attack it and just pray that it works. And I thought our game plan was, really solid. It looked like kind of both of those things that I just said. Obviously, them having a couple players out changes things, but today was all about team. And you're not going to beat someone like Audie if you don't rely on your whole team, at least not with our roster. So I think the steals are just a testament to, the way that our kids were bought into the game plan. The press was effective for us as well, so that helped. But overall, I think this was the first game where just our entire team was super locked in on the scout.
Jacie, when you're playing a 2-3 zone, how important is transition and how important is ball movement to get the shots that you need to get?
Yeah, super important. I mean, whether it's playing against a zone or man, I think we're best when we're really moving it with pace. And I actually thought the last game against Kansas, that's when we kind of figured that out. I thought we took a big step forward in terms of our offensive execution. And then today, it didn't seem that way in the first quarter. I think we were, 2 for 12 from the three? Yeah, 2 for 12. And you felt good about every shot, but they just weren't going in. But our kids did a great job of staying the course, and we knew that we wanted to play fast. That's what we always want to do, but especially in a game like today when you're going against the size that we were, and our kids attacked really well.
I'm sure.
I was just going to ask about Staley. I mean, the triple-double, the third in program history. What does that mean, not just for any of your girls to get it, but especially someone like Staley who's really stuck by this program?
She's just the most deserving person. She's so special as a person. I think that's where I wish people understood just how unique she is, because she really is selfless, and she is so loyal. And, I remember that first year, I just mentioned it, the year she was a freshman, we had a tough year. We had a lot of injuries, a lot of people in her ear trying to get her to leave, and she stuck by us. And ever since then, that girl's just been making history. Literally on her back, we have done all the things that we've done. And obviously a lot of people have, played their part to help that. But I just think that when you work hard and you are a good person and you are loyal to the things that a lot of kids aren't loyal to anymore in this transfer portal era, great things are going to come your way. And I'm so happy for Stailee today. And the thing about it is Stailee could care less. She's just happy that we won. But that's what makes her so unique. And I love coaching her. We've formed a really great relationship. And it's just a really special thing to observe and get to be a part of.
When Bill Finley was in here, he talked about the joy that she plays with. It sounded like he maybe kind of had some fun trash talk with her throughout the game, things like that. Is that kind of a sign that she's back to the player that we all kind of expected her to be?
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. When she's smiling and she's just loving competition, that's when you know that she's, in her element and at her best. And I think that Stailee, realizes that this game has given her a lot, and she's given the game a lot. But, this is kind of her safe space. Like, this is what she loves more than anything in life, just being a part of a team, competing. And I think she was not really able to do that early on in the year. And what we've seen is her get that love and that passion back. Not for any reason, it's just things that happens in life. But man, when she's playing with that joy and that just competitive will, she's so fun to watch.
How impressed were you with just like the second half? Like, you guys had that awesome second quarter, and there just was no let up from your team.
Yeah. Well, I heard him cheering at halftime, and I ripped their butts at halftime because there's a team like Iowa State who's as well coached as they are, and just it's a 40-minute game, right? And so I ripped them and just challenged them to be poised and have maturity to understand it's a 40-minute game, and they responded perfectly. That's that's kind of a fine line because you want them to have fun, but you don't want them to relax. But I didn't think that we ever relaxed. I thought there were moments here and there, but anytime we kind of got on them, they would respond with a really great play. So I think this team is just figuring it out. That's kind of been a theme for us, like 40 minutes. We go back to that Baylor game, and that was a 30-minute game. Even, I don't know, Colorado, about a 35-minute game. We haven't quite got to the 40-minute mark, and I think today we did.
I asked Coach Finley about the Baylor game, and you guys have won 4 or 5 since then. He mentioned players are resilient, players move on fast. How impressed are you that they were able to turn the page like they have?
Well, I think this team knows, how special this season can be for us. I mean, we have such a great roster, such a talented roster, and I've just really challenged them to just stay the course because there are a lot of new faces here, and it does take time, and you do have to go through things and learn the hard way to figure things out. But I'm not surprised by the response of our kids because we have such high character kids, kids that do want to win and put winning above all else. And so I've just seen them grow so much in that, and I do think that our resilience and toughness is on a really good path right now that's going to serve us very, very well moving forward. I think a lot of teams, they can brag about their record and stuff like that. That hasn't really been our journey this season, but I'm fortunate to have a team that sticks with it when things get hard, and I'm very glad that we've played a schedule where we've had to learn some of those tough lessons early to be the team that we want to be later on.
Coach, carrying off of the poise that you mentioned, did you feel a different level of energy coming from the players on the court and on the bench in that quarter?
In which quarter? Yeah, second quarter. Well, I think, again, we were 2 for 12 from the 3, and we were getting the exact looks that we wanted. I mean, you can't ask for a better look. And so that's where our kids were really poised. Just, as a 3-point shooting team, you can't freak out and you can't lose your wits when shots aren't going down. Just told them, stay the course and keep shooting. And then, we finally kind of busted the seal open.
To have this kind of performance against a ranked opponent, you mentioned out there when you turned to the crowd, on national television, does it, you always want that, but does it mean a little more when your team shows up in a game like this?
Of course. I mean, when all eyes are on you, you want to make a statement, and that's exactly what we did today.
A couple of players that are farther down the box score that I wanted to ask about. Was it nice to see Lena look a little bit more like herself?
Yes.
And then also Praise. Didn't take a shot, but seemed to have some really impactful minutes when she came in.
Yeah, I just have to smile thinking about Lena because just like Staley, I think she just plays with a tremendous amount of joy. I remember her, getting a steal when they tried to get it into Audie, and she came off the backside and got the steal, and she's just laughing, dribbling the ball down the floor. And it's not a laugh like, I'm just messing around. It's just she's just having so much fun. I mean, she just loves the game of basketball. I've said that to y'all many, many times, but I think she's feeling better than what she has with her shoulder injury, and just coming off of that and kind of getting her confidence back. She was back to herself today. She was having fun and she was fearless, maybe a little too fearless sometimes. But and then Praise is just the ultimate team player. Like, no one's more happy than Praise after this win. It doesn't matter if she didn't score. She just truly loves Cowgirl basketball, and she loves everything about Oklahoma State, and those are really special players to have. You need those types of players on your team, and Praise has always been that for us.
With Stailee having 9 assists in that fourth quarter, how aware of it were you guys, and were you feeling any pressure to try and get her that 10th one? Or
Yes. Yes. Some kids were getting screamed at to shoot shots that I would normally yell at them for shooting. But yeah, I don't know what it is about us. Whenever we have these bigger wins, I feel so much pressure as a coach to, help get the triple-double or get a 3-point, record or freaking call a 6-7 timeout. I mean, I'm like, God, can we it's kind of stressful, It's a great position to be in, but so it was definitely known and a little stressful, but we got there.
In their defense, it felt like Staley was shooting the ball a couple times.
Well,
late,
that's
too.
exactly right. I mean, she just, was able to expose the matchup that she had, and she did what she was supposed to do. And I didn't tell her until really late. And normally I don't tell players things just because I want the game to come to them. But Stailee is a little bit unique because she'll just, go take it, and that's ultimately what she ended up doing.
How many times have you had a player get a triple-double before?
I think maybe once. I'm looking at my husband back there. Erica Mattingly, really special player that I will forever be indebted to. She helped us win our conference championship, the first in school history at UMKC, and she was very similar to Stailee, just a competitor, just had an ability to really impose her will. So, yeah, that's two really special players that I've been fortunate to coach.
You mentioned your most complete game, chasing that 40-minute performance that you finally got today. Once you get there, is it not easy, but easier to replicate that going forward?
Well, I think it's a great step just in terms of confidence to know this is what it can look like when we do it, and now we've got to put consistency to it.
How much is that rest versus rust mindset going to be playing into next week's game when you face Colorado on the road?
It's always in the back of your mind. I think it's a really hard thing to do as a coach to balance that. They've been going like hell and their bodies need a break. So we definitely, are due for some rest. I think that's one thing. People will never understand what our kids are playing through, but they're playing through stuff. Our kids are tough as nails, and they don't complain, they don't show it, but they're playing through stuff. So it'll be good for them to have a little bit of rest. And then I think Colorado is playing as well as anyone in the conference. We know it wasn't easy here, so I think our kids understand the assignment coming off the bye week. And Colorado, I think, is in the same boat, if I remember right. So we'll just control what we can and try and have a balance of both.
You mentioned before about how you thought the mask maybe helped Micah. Do you think that the shoulder sleeve helps Lena at all, or?
Lena's, I don't know what is going on in her mind a lot of the times, but she's got the swagger and the confidence that probably in her head she's, telling herself how good she looks or something.